You are one decision away from changing your life. And you have to accept that. You're one new meeting, one new relationship, one new contact, one new action, one new decision away from shifting your life from where it is right now to a totally different place.
We are all one decision away from changing our lives forever, and a lot of us don't even know it. And the difference between the decisions you make today and the ones that you made last year, if they've gotten you to where you are right now, they were not good decisions.
I believe that the single most important skill is the ability to make effective decisions. Because everything comes from decision. You only get new results if you take new actions. You only take new actions if that decision comes first. In other words, decision is the father and mother of all action. And the quality of our life comes down to the quality of our decisions.
The most beautiful thing about life is that no matter where you are today, no matter how dark, no matter how down you are one good decision away from being in a slightly better place. You could be in the worst place of your life, and if you make one positive decision today, you're going to end up tomorrow in a slightly better place than you are. And then you can make one good decision then and be in a slightly better place, and you slowly start turning the tide and walking towards where you want to end up.
It's time to wake up. Wake the bro. Enough with the bullshit, enough with the excuses, enough with the nonsense, enough with being in a situation where you're always complaining, where you're always pointing fingers. Point the fingers at yourself. The life that you have is the life that you chose. If you don't like the life that you have, it's your damn fault, dude. Change. Make different decisions. Hang out with different people. Instill some discipline, some habits. Win.
The first biggest decision that you'll make in your entire life is who you're going to surround yourself with. The people that you surround yourself with, your friends, your family, everything. Because you become who you surround yourself with. And so this is one of the most important decisions that you ever make in your entire life, is the people that are in your life. You will either rise to the standards of people around you, or you will lower your standards to people around you. I don't know why it tends to be this way, but for most people in most circles, it's usually they need to lower their standards.
Successful people are not those who necessarily make the right decisions all the time, but by hanging in there, they make their decisions right. If they make a mistake, they accept it. They learn as much as possible from it, failing and making mistakes, and carry on. The more you fail and the more mistakes you make, the smarter you become, and the more likely it is that you will eventually achieve your goals.
I don't know what it is, but I know there's a decision that you need to make to take you to the next level, just like I know that's true for me. Because decisions shape our destiny when they're backed up by some massive action.
You don't need to make 100 decisions today. That's the point. The reason most people don't start is because they're thinking of it as, oh my God, look at that mountain in front of me. I have to climb all the way to the top of that. You don't have to climb all the way to the top of that. You have to climb one step. Then you can worry about the next step. But all it is the one decision. If we can all find that, if we can sort of pull back from this feeling of needing to make the 100 changes at once, optimize the million things at once, and just focus on what is that one decision I can make today that'll leave me slightly better off, everything gets so much easier.
Everything around you is your decision. Stop acting like you don't have power or control over your life. Because the moment that you decide to step into the driver's seat and say, you know what, when I look at my body, I know I can change and make it better. When I look at my business, I know I can change, I can make it better. When I look at my bank account, I know I can change it, I can make it better. I can either sit back and make a decision to not make the decision to change, which is still a decision, and keep everything exactly the same. Or, if something's going to change, I'm going to need to change. I'm going to need to step up and make the decision that I'm going to change every single aspect of my life, of what I do. I'm going to make sure I do everything differently. If I'm not happy about where my life is right now, I'm just going to start doing everything differently. If I go to bed late, I'm going to start going to bed early. I'm going to start waking up early. If I normally talk negatively to myself, I'm going to start talking positively to myself. If I normally eat a cheeseburger for lunch, I'm going to start eating a salad. If I normally don't work out, I'm going to start working out. Just do something differently. Make the decision to do something different.
Do you know the reason most people don't make decisions? Because they can't see how they're going to get there. So what do? They keep doing things that they can see how they're going to get there. And that's why their life never really changes. You don't need the money until after you make the decision. Person say, I want to take a trip, and I'm going to go as soon as I get the money. You don't need the money to make the decision to take the trip. I'm going to start my own business as soon as everything's right. Things are never going to be right. You've got to make a decision. Now, you see, when you make the decision, everything starts to change.
So one of the reasons why we're afraid of making decisions, especially tough decisions, right, is because whenever we make a decision, the whole idea, the whole meaning of decision in Latin is to cut away from the past. Meaning, if I decide that I want to get married, I am cutting away from being single. If I decide from having a baby and becoming a parent, I'm cutting away from sleeping 8 hours of sleep. If I make a decision to become an entrepreneur, I'm cutting away from having a 9-to-5 job security. That's why we're afraid of making tough decisions. So in life, whatever decision you're getting ready to make, you want to marry, you want to go out and raise money, you want to go invest, you want to go be a businessman, you want to quit your job, you want to be this, you have to go to that position of asking yourself, if I take action, what are the consequences? And the consequences I get, how do I respond and react to these consequences? And then for the rest of your career, it's the same exact thing. Constantly have to repeat this entire thing over and over and over again.
Your mind and thoughts must be focused on the same frequency as your goal. How do we do that? We make a committed decision. That's where I'm going. And when you make the committed decision, that's irrevocable. You cannot go back. You shut the past off. You begin thinking on this higher frequency, and you think and act like the person you want to become. Does it sound preposterous? That's what the Wright brothers did, and they introduced us to a new kingdom. That's what Sir Edmund Hillary did. He was a beekeeper from Auckland, New Zealand. He was the first person to ever climb Mount Everest. He didn't know how to get to the top of that mountain until after he got there. He trusted in the image that he held in his mind. You've got to trust in the image you hold in your mind. You've got to think like the person you want to become. It takes a decision to get up on that higher frequency. And the second you make the decision, everything starts to happen. You got to believe you can do it.
A lot of people like to go through life and not make the decision to step up. You know, they're like, you know what, I'm going to play small. I'm okay with playing small. I'm okay with dimming my flame. I'm okay with just staying where I am. I'm not going to make the decision to step up. To not make the decision to step up your life and to take control of it is still a decision. You realize that, right? It's still a decision. Whether you want it to be the decision that you want it to be or not, or whether it is the decision that you want it to be or not, it's still a decision. So either you make a decision to fully step into your full power, to your full light, to the amazingness that your life can be and that you can create it to be, or you decide to make a decision to leave the same that it's always been, to not make changes, to stay inside of your comfort zone, to not bring out your full potential, and to not change the world in the ways that you can, big or small. What's your decision? You've got to make the decision at some point in time. Are you going to create the life that you want, or are you just going to stay the same? What's your decision?
You are the source of your own problems. Because you are anxious and negative and narrow and seeing all the negative things, you make bad decisions. You decide not to start that business when it's actually the best thing that you could do. You decide to take that job that pays so well because you want money, but it's not a job suited to you, etc., etc. You're making bad decisions because of your attitude. If you are open and expansive, if you are not afraid of life, if you think of something as like an adventure, and if I start that business, if I write that book and it fails, so be it. I've learned something. It's fun. It's like if I cross that river, I leaped across it and I fell. Okay, I got wet. It's a little bit cold. So what? You know, ha ha ha. It made me tougher.